Let's bring in Melius Research Head of Tech Research, Ben Reitzes, to discuss. I mean, hearing from Jensen, just the last time we've had you on in a few days, there's been, more Jensen bullish commentary, more deals announced, usually around OpenAI, but we got the AMD one as well. Are you getting any questions from investors about whether it's, getting to be toppy?
Oh, sure we are. Sure we are. And we're telling them to sit tight. I mean, this reminds me of a little bit in 1997 and even 1996. I mean, we had Alan Greenspan say irrational exuberance, and then we had a lot of strategists that were, luminaries from the 80s say that things were over in 97, but we had 3 more great years of returns. And I'm not saying it's like that 100%, but we feel like this got a long way to go. Of course, people get nervous when they've made a lot of money and there's sell-offs, but the fundamentals look good. Go play with Sora AI, a new social media app for generating video, and then you know how much inferencing there needs to be. That app is incredible. OpenAI is going to need a lot of compute.
But it's all about OpenAI and NVIDIA. I mean, what does it mean for, and I know you don't necessarily cover all the hyperscalers, you cover the semiconductors, but there are a lot of potential winners here. There's the Meta and Amazon, which hasn't done much this year, and some of the others. Or is it winner take all? Like, how do you see ultimately winner and loser?
Well, we cover actually AI in general, and semis are part of it. We also cover Microsoft and Oracle and many others, including Dell. And we see a lot of opportunities to win here. In semis, we're kind of recommending the Elite 3 now, which are NVIDIA, Broadcom, and AMD. We think the TAM for compute and networking is $2 trillion by the end of this decade, and maybe even higher now. And all this inferencing and then autonomous vehicles and robots are really going to still build out the infrastructure. Sit tight. A lot of these apps are coming. We also think that Dell's going to have a role as enterprises roll out AI. We just pumped our target there to $200. And that stock's doing great and getting new life. And then CoreWeave is a up-and-coming hyperscaler that we're recommending, who is allied with Jensen, but going to get a lot of this overflow. And they're doing a great job. I think a lot more deals to come. And we're really looking forward to Oracle's Analyst Day next week because we've seen a lot of rumors and speculation about their margins. And we think Oracle's going to probably raise guidance, and we'd be buyers there into that Analyst Day next week.
We did mention your note on Dell this morning with Jim, Ben, and their long-term guidance is remarkable. I just wonder, and given the action in IBM earlier in the week, this theme of all sort of legacy tech finding a way to play in this space, what do you make of it, and how would you determine what other legacy names could do something similar?
Well, Carl, as you know, and from talking to Jim, is one of our calls the last couple of years has been AI is eating software, and it's a complete unwinding of software is eating the world. And so you're seeing the SaaS companies become the hardware companies, and the hardware companies become more like the SaaS companies, and the semis, obviously. And we're seeing a complete value shift that is revaluing hardware. We're in the early innings for some of the legacy tech. You've seen the run in the HDD stocks recently, but IBM, Dell, are getting a new lease on life. IBM's doing a great job, probably in quantum. We see that later this decade, but they're also reinventing themselves around infrastructure software, which is not SaaS, and it's priced by the instance. But Dell has a role as enterprises pick up AI and need to make use of their data on-prem. Plus, Dell's a cheap stock, and Michael's been on this. He's got a cheap stock. He's buying back stock. I mean, we only went to a 15 multiple. I mean, these guys used to get a 30 multiple back in the day. There's a shot that a lot of these hardware companies get over, a market multiple or better, and the SaaS companies become the old hardware and go to single-digit multiples. I'm not kidding. I mean, that's how much disruption there is.
I know I think you have a hold on Intel that's been, sort of a long time, sort of disappointing one that's had a new lease on life. And Jensen was talking about it this morning and saying, we're lovers, not fighters. And you could see a future where they both win together here. Does the recent deal and some of the investments in Intel change your mind?
I mean, that was a tough call. If you do too much work, you get bogged down into AMD gaining share in servers, and in the minutia and not the deal making. And that's sort of, you know, it was very hard to predict that Jensen was going to do this. But look, Lip Bhutan, we're big fans. We've known him before, and he's somebody people like, and people want to work with this guy, give him a chance. There's some speculation around him even working with AMD because we know he's tight with Lisa Su, who's a great CEO in her own right. You know, look, Intel, we're watching. We've seen this surge here. It might take a rest for a little while because, you know, I don't think the numbers are there near term. But with the backing of the U.S. government, which I think was a really nice move by the Trump administration, and you can't count them out. You can't count them out. But they really don't have an AI strategy that's as visible as the others that we recommend.
All right, Ben, always good to get your take on your coverage.
It's a pleasure. We're having a lot of fun. Thanks, guys, for having us.
I would imagine. It's an exciting time. Ben Reitzes from Melius.